Hey, second graders. Hope you guys are having a thoughtful Thursday, as we say at Graydon. Just so you guys know, one thing that I would like for you to send me today on your Google Doc turn-in page would be a picture of your Venn diagram that you did today. So just right away know that you will be needing to get that to me somehow. If you're having a hard time on the Google Doc, maybe ask mom and dad to help you. And if it's still not working, just say, hey, mom and dad, it's okay. You can send Miss Gibson a picture, okay? You will have reading today, writing, math, and social studies. There's some fun stuff coming up today. So first of all, just know that that Venn diagram I was talking about is a Venn diagram you're going to do for writing today, where you are comparing and contrasting Little Red Riding Hood, the usual story, with Little Red Secret Sauce. So yesterday you should have read Little Red Riding Hood. If you didn't though, if you did one of the other reading activities, you're going to be reading that first. So go ahead and open up. If you haven't read Little Red Riding Hood, I want you to read it first. As you're reading, I want you to either in your notebook or a post-it note, jot down a few things while you're reading. The first is maybe noticing the characters in this story. Who are the characters that you see or that you're reading about? What is the setting? Where is the story happening? It might be a few different settings, and that's okay. You just jot them all down. And last, kind of like any big story points you're noticing. So even like here, the first one would be, she walks through the woods to go to her grandma's house. She runs into the wolf. She picks flowers, goes to see her grandma, and you can kind of, from there, just kind of note any big moments that you think you might forget. And then after you've read that, you will be reading Little Red's Secret Sauce. Now, if you already did read Little Red Riding Hood yesterday, then you don't need to read Little Red Riding Hood here. You can just read this story. No matter which story you're reading, if you're reading both today or just this one, remember if it's kind of tricky, ask for mom and dad to help you. If you can do it on your own, that's great. And if you're reading this one today too, whether you're reading just this one or you're reading it and also reading the regular Little Red Riding Hood, I do want you to be jotting down, same thing here, characters, the setting, and kind of some big events. You're going to right away probably start noticing a few differences, a few similarities too, but some differences. So go ahead, and I'm going to have you, after I say all this, go ahead and hit pause and get started. If you need to read both stories, read both. If you just read this one, but whenever you're finished, I want you to be ready to move right into our Venn diagram for writing today. So I'm going to have you go ahead and hit pause, go to slide 4, and get reading. All right, welcome back for writing. Today's writing is a reading response. So using a Venn diagram, again, you can use this one if you have it, or you can draw it in your notebook. It doesn't have to be perfect circles. Just give yourself enough room to write. Don't make it too small. You are going to be making 3 comparisons. You're going to find 3 differences and 3 similarities. For your 3 differences, I would encourage you to write 1 difference on your characters. So like here, you would write a difference, and here you'd write 1 similarity between your characters. Don't forget to write the story at the top. Maybe write Little Red Riding Hood here, and Red Secret Sauce here. And write differences and a similarity. Between the characters could be your first bullet point. The setting could be your second bullet point. And your third bullet point could be something that happens in the story. So again, noticing what's different and what's similar. After you're finished with that, take a quick picture, upload it to me on Google Docs or with mom and dad's help. And then you can move on to handwriting when you're finished. So go ahead and get started on that Venn diagram. I'm excited to see what you notice is different and some things you notice that are the same between the 2 stories. Go ahead and hit pause, go to slide 4, and get started. All right, welcome back for math. Today we're talking about equal shares. So for shapes, we talked a lot about, or not shapes, even fractions. For fractions, we talked a lot about how they need to be split into equal parts. So equal shares is kind of like that. If you look at this and you look at the red, in the red you'll notice there's 3 squares of red here and 3 squares of red here. The difference is where they're at. So I'm going to open up first to our Envision page. For Envision, what I want you to take away from today is that with our designs, each share has equal parts between design 1 and design 2. They might be in different shapes, but they'll have the equal shared parts. So here, let's count how many squares are green in design 1. I know they're different shades of green, but that's okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to come over here, the yellow. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. For the orangey pink, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the blue, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them have 4 squares for each. But wow, when I come over here, this looks quite a bit different. That's because they adjusted 2 of the colors to be rectangles instead of squares. But let's see if they're equal. If they're equal, they'll have the same number of squares for yellow and the same number of squares for green. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 for yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4 for yellow. Are there equal shares even though they're different shapes? Yes, because they have the same number of squares. But let's double check that green. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about that? It's equal because there's the same number. And now when you come down here, you are going to create your own for Hamal. Hamal is painting a design. The design must have 3 colors with an equal share for each color. Create two possible designs for Hamal. So for design 1, maybe in this first column, you put 1 color. This next column, you put a different color, and this one here. That seems to be the easiest way. 1, 2, 3 colors. But when you come over here, you are going to make a different design. So let's say I make this one green, this one yellow, and this one orange. In this first one, this green, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares that will be green. So when I come over here, I need to make a different design. I just need 4 squares to be green. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 will be green. And then for yellow here, I need 4 that will be yellow over here. So starting here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that will be yellow. And then for orange, same thing, I need 4. So I'm filling in my last 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be orange, and they will have equal shares of the same color. Okay? If this is still a little tricky, maybe ask Mom and Dad for some help, but then you can come down here and do the same thing on your own. I do want you to do this one on your own. Okay? And then here, keep on going. And do what you can. I would say definitely do these first 2 pages. The squares are pretty similar for this one. I would say you're going to have to kind of draw the lines yourself. Pay attention to how many colors you need, and that will help you plan. Okay? It's pretty fun. It's just kind of thinking a little creatively with our math, but making sure that we have equal parts for each color. And then you'll move on to your fluency practice, first to 20, and math playground, whichever works for you. First to 20 if you have a friend, or math playground if you're by yourself. So go ahead and hit pause, go down to slide 4, and get started on your math for today. All right. For science today, you have a special task ahead of you. Today you will be designing a monster. Now, not a real monster, but a monster made out of materials. You have been hired by a toy company to create a monster that meets these requirements. So the criteria is here, but I'm going to open up our document here, and you will see at the bottom there's a checklist. Okay, so when you're thinking of the monster you want to create, first you need to, after you've thought about all these parts, you are going to draw it and label it. It has to be a monster. You can name it, whatever name you want. Part of it must be flexible. Part of it must be smooth. Part of it should be fuzzy. And it should be strong enough to stand on its own. So like whatever legs you have, whatever flexible material or whatever you pick, it should be strong enough to stand on its own. Let me check my time just real quick because I only have 15 minutes to make these. Okay, good. I'm making good time. So Today you will be creating your monster, just designing it on a piece of paper. Now, if we were doing this in the classroom, I would have a few materials available to you. I would have toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls for like maybe the body. We could do pipe cleaners. We'd have pom-pom balls. There's yarn, all kinds of stuff. So if you have any of that around your home and you know you have it, I would gather the materials right now so whenever you're designing it up here, you know what you have. If you're not finding some materials, that is okay. Like if you can't find something that's flexible or smooth or fuzzy, go ahead and design it with it today. You just won't have it to build tomorrow, and that's okay. But what I want you to do first, I want you to gather the materials around your home you think you could use to make a monster. Ask mom and dad if it's okay that you use it, or maybe ask for their help if you don't know where some things are. Gather it today. You're going to draw and label your plan, and then tomorrow you will be building it. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause and get started on that. I can't wait to see your monster designs and things, so get to work on that. You will be building it tomorrow. If you are really wanting to build it today, you could ask mom and dad and see if they're fine with it. I'm okay with it if they're okay with it, or just wait till tomorrow. Either way, I am so excited to see your Venn diagrams today. You guys have been working so hard, and I'm really excited for this fun day that's ahead of you. So, hope you have a thoughtful Thursday. I hope you guys are keeping up the great work and that positive attitude, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.